We're back for our daily NBA Best Bets here on Saturday, February 21st. We've got 6 games today in the National Basketball Association. We're obviously going to go over 5 of them. The one game that we are not going to be covering today, Sixers at Pelicans. I don't know. I wanted to go Sixers -3, but I was like, they did not play well going into the break, and the Pelicans have nothing to tank for, so they have reason to try to win. So I'm going to stay away from that game. No Embiid, I believe, tonight for the Sixers either. So we're going to stay away from that. We're going to cover each of the other 5 games today on this Saturday set of games. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA Best Bets here on the channel. And also, we're not going to do the Sixers because they screwed up trading Jared McCain. That's all I'll say. Shout out to McCain yesterday, leading the Thunder in points yesterday, season high yesterday for McCain. I'm telling you, he's going to continue to be nasty for the Thunder going forward. But again, folks, hit that subscribe button down below for more. Earlier today on the channel, we posted our college basketball best bets, so go make sure to check those out if you have not yet. And on Greedo Plays MMA, our UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Hernandez full card predictions. You're not going to miss those. We've got best bets as well, and we have a special video this week on Greedo Plays MMA. We went over the entire Dan Hooker situation. If you don't want to know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and watch the video. My goodness, that's a handful. Anyways, on to the first of our 5 best bets today. Kicking things off with an East versus West game in Phoenix, Arizona. The earliest game on the slate at 2 p.m. local time in Phoenix, or is it 3? I don't know how their time works because they don't do daylight savings or whatever. I don't know. Suns versus Magic in Phoenix. I'm going to go with the Magic. I think it's a great spot, actually, to get plus money on Phoenix here, as apparently the Suns aren't going to be playing Devin Booker tonight, right? Phoenix comes back on Thursday, obviously off of the break. Jalen Green led them in scoring, but Devin Booker's already been ruled out for this game as he only played 9 minutes against San Antonio. He's not playing tonight against Orlando. And yes, you're going to get full go Jalen Green again, and obviously Dylan Brooks, who, low-key all-star snub. I don't think Phoenix beats this Orlando team because, honestly, if Orlando, and I know it's Sacramento, so we can't obviously get too hyped up about that one victory, but the way they played against the Kings, very encouraging. And I'm not just saying, just because they beat Sacramento by, 121-95. No, not just because of how they won. Not because of the margin of victory. It was Paolo Banchero. And we went under on Banchero. We were wrong. If Paolo Banchero can continue to play like this, and I know it's the Kings, but sometimes you just need games like this. Paolo Banchero against the Sacramento Kings, 30 points in 32 minutes, 10 for 21 from the field, 5 for 7 from beyond the arc, in all 35-6 for the former number 1 overall pick from Duke. That's why he's getting paid the big bucks. That's why he was the number 1 overall pick, not this 11 points per game crap, okay? I get it, it's one game, but I'm willing to kind of invest some on Paolo Banchero and say, okay, he's going to do it again. That's why I'm taking Orlando. We know Franz Wagner out, right? When I made that video, I made it before Wagner had been ruled out, and it seems, I don't know how long Wagner is going to be out for. Maybe the rest of the season. The report on him from Shams is Franz Wagner will be sidelined indefinitely after recent tests showed that he requires additional time and rehab for soreness in his left high ankle sprain. That's not good. But with Franz out, it allows Banchero to fully take over. And I know Franz has been out for a little bit now, but now it's just going to be Paolo and Desmond Bane doing most of the scoring for Orlando. And the Magic, 4 games over 500, currently find themselves in 7th. Hell, if they win today and say the Sixers go and lose in New Orleans, the Magic will find themselves back in 6th, and the Sixers would be back in the play-in. So the Magic have a lot to play for here, right? We know that they're going to be involved in the play-in in some sense. Will that just be, though, play-in, or will that be postseason right away? We shall see. I think it's a great spot against Phoenix, guys. I'm going to say this right now, and I've been kind of waiting for this all year long, and we've hinted at it some. The Phoenix Suns fall off. I think it's happening now, right? Like, we always kind of expected the Suns not to hang, right? The Suns currently their record is 32-24. So they're 8 games over 500. At one point in time, their high water mark this year, I guess, was 31-20. That was their best record, at least that deep in the season. Halfway through the year, they were 11 games over 500. Since then, obviously, right, they've lost 4 or 5 games, losing to Golden State, Philadelphia, both at home win over Dallas, then losses at home, or lost at home to the Thunder, and then a road loss to San Antonio. And I get it, Booker injured. Here's the problem, though, guys. I just don't think this is sustainable. That first half was great. I'm starting to believe that we're going to see a very poor second half of the year for Phoenix. I think they're going to be the play-in team. We've talked about it all year long, right? One of these good teams in the West are going to be in the play-in. It's going to be Phoenix, right? It's going to be legitimately, I think this is how it's going to line up. OKC, San Antonio, Denver, Los Angeles, Houston, Minnesota. That's going to be the top 6. And then it's going to be Phoenix versus, I'm thinking Clippers. That's going to be 7-8. And then it's going to be Warriors versus Blazers in the 9-10. That's my guess there. And I think Phoenix probably beats the Clippers. Phoenix beats the Clippers. Warriors beat the Blazers. Warriors beat the Blazers. Clippers beat the Warriors. I think that's kind of how that goes, right? So you'll get Thunder, Clippers, and so far and so forth, right? So again, Phoenix is going to be that team, though, that's going to have to fall in the play-in out of the elite teams. I just think that, this Phoenix run's been cool. I don't think they're going to sustain it throughout the rest of the season. And I think it's going to be games like this, right? Like, yes, they're not expected to win their last 2 games against, albeit an injured Thunder team, and then San Antonio. They're not expected to win those games. But a game like this against Orlando, like, these are the games that's going to determine, okay, is Phoenix going to somehow find themselves at a 6 seed, or are they going to have to play in the play-in, where, again, likely, yes, they would beat the Clippers in Phoenix in a must-win spot to advance to the postseason to play San Antonio. Yeah, they'd probably win that game, but obviously you'd much rather play, even though I know Denver, what they did last night, scoring 158 points in the road. Of course, the one day we picked Portland. You much rather play Denver, though, I believe, than San Antonio in the postseason, right? The way you beat the Nuggets, you outscore them. You have to shoot 60% from beyond the arc, but if you can do it, you can win. San Antonio, it's going to take some effort to stop Wembanyama. But I just don't think Phoenix is going to finish top 6. I think games like this is going to determine that. I'm going to go Orlando on the road here. I like what Banchero did in his last game. Desmond Bane, obviously, has been a great scorer for this team all season long. I'm starting to turn a little bit. I'm turning a little bit in Orlando, okay? They don't play defense anymore, but I like him in the spot. I'm going to go Orlando winning this game on the road, and Phoenix plus 100 for the Magic. Next up, we go on to another game here before we go into our player props. We're going to go minus 9.5 for Miami at home. Give me the Heat to cover against the Memphis Grizzlies. So yesterday, we took Memphis to beat the Jazz. Again, I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. We are going to see tanking unlike we've ever seen before. Right, with the NBA really cracking down on tanking next season and their new anti-tanking rules with the draft lottery and whatnot, we're going to see the most tanking, imaginably possible right now, because this is the last time teams are going to be able to fully tank. And with the draft class like we have now, and the fact that next year's draft class probably is not going to be that good, you're going to see some crazy tanking out of these teams. And that's what Utah did last night. Utah finds a way to out-tank Memphis, a Memphis team that was without so many players. And by the way, will likely still be without a bunch of players tonight. They played the Heat on the road. I expect the Heat to have a belt to ass, especially after the Heat's last game, as the Heatles went on the road yesterday night. They went to Atlanta, won 128-97. I understand it's the second night of a back-to-back for both teams, but the Heat are actually trying to play for something the Grizzlies obviously aren't, even though Memphis is technically the next team up behind Portland for the play-in. They're only 4 games back of the play-in, with Memphis winning yesterday and Portland losing. Obviously, we know the Grizzlies want nothing of that. The Grizzlies, they'd rather, again, lose out than get a chance to play the Clippers or the Warriors in the play-in round. So anyways, looking at the spot between Memphis and Miami, I expect Memphis to continue to sit most of their guys, right? We've talked about the abundance of injuries this team already has. I'm starting to believe Zach Edey just might not play for the rest of the season because, again, the more losses you take, better odds you get for the NBA draft. Ja Morant, I don't know. I feel like Ja's going to come back eventually, but Ja just seems so disconnected from this team half the time. He's, just on the bench, and I just don't know about him. Santi Aldama didn't play yesterday. Same with Cedric Howard. I don't know if either of those guys are going to play tonight. KCP yesterday was just supposed to be ruled out, but all of a sudden, the Grizzlies announced that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope underwent surgery to address the misalignment of his right pinky finger and will miss the remainder of the 2025 campaign. What does his pinky look something like this? I don't know. Anyways, sure, I guess. Walter Clayton didn't play yesterday. Ty Jerome didn't play. Scottie Pippen didn't play. I think they're probably actually going to have to play Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. because both those guys were out yesterday due to injury management. Ty Jerome with the right calf, Scottie Pippen with the left great toe, they had to specify for us. It's just we know this team's not trying to win. Miami, even though, the Heat are going to do what they do every single season, and that's make the playoffs and do absolutely nothing past that. Like, this feels like the most typical Miami year ever. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be the 8th seed, and they'll lose in 4 or 5 to Detroit in the first round. It's what they do. Pat Riley, model of consistency. You got to find your way in the postseason every year. just to lose in the first round, but good on them, right? They find ways. I don't know, maybe the Hornets get them in the play-in, who knows? But the Heat will win this game because the Heat are actually playing for something. They are fairly healthy now. Actually, they are very healthy now. I think everyone's back for Miami officially now, so they have the full starting five back: Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, and Bam Adebayo. And yesterday, not a competitive game against the Atlanta Hawks, and that shows kind of the difference between, an Atlanta and a Miami, right? We know that the Hornets might give some teams problems in the play-in, sure, but Atlanta does feel like they're the worst team in that play-in bunch. There's a chance, by the way, the Milwaukee Bucks, who have now won 3 consecutive games, will find themselves in the play-in. We know Giannis Antetokounmpo has to come back eventually. Giannis might be back soon. There's a chance, actually, Milwaukee pushes their way in the play-in, but if they do, I think they're just going to take Atlanta's spot. So I think there's a chance that we're going to see Milwaukee, Charlotte, Miami, and then whoever that next team is, the 7 seed is, in the play-in this year for the Eastern Conference. Don't look now. Hey, Chicago's lost 7 in a row, but they're only a game and a half back. So I don't know. Anyone's still involved in the play-in race. But Miami, puts belt to ass yesterday in Atlanta. Not a competitive game. Tyler Hero scores 27 in the victory, 24 in the victory off of the bench. The Heat are playing good basketball. They're playing really good basketball right now, especially, again, with that victory they'd won right before the break in New Orleans. I'd expect them to completely dominate a Memphis team that is pretty clearly not trying to win basketball games. The only reason they won yesterday is because, well, their guys in the tank are better than the Jazz's guys in the tank. Right, yesterday, they got 23 points off the bench out of Olivier Prosper. Prosper scoring 23 on 10 of 16 shooting. They got 20 points out of Gigi Jackson. They're starting Lawson Lovering now. Lawson Lovering and Meshack are starting now for this team. Meshack's a hooper. I'm very surprised Lovering got a start. Yeah, that's actually shocking. That's his second game of the year. They really started Lawson Lovering yesterday, rookie out of Utah. That's phenomenal stuff. Again, goes to show, though, what the Grizzlies are doing. We'll see, again, who plays. They've been load managing guys. I don't know. It is the second out of a back-to-back, so expect some of the guys who did play yesterday, like, I can imagine maybe a Javon Smalls going to get a DNP tonight because of injury management. Maybe a Jalen Wells. Jalen Wells is due to sit out a game. They never hold out Jalen Wells. Like, again, just don't expect a high-powered Grizzlies team. They are coming off a win yesterday, but teams have to manage their victories. You can't win too many, so I'm going to go with the Heat to win and dominate today in South Beach. Miami spread at home, -9.5 against the Memphis Grizzlies. On now to our third best bet of the video, we move to a player prop, one of 2 today, and we're going to go back-to-back on these. The first player prop of the day comes in San Antonio, Texas, at the Frostbank Center between the Spurs and the Kings, and we're going to go with Devin Carter. Over 11.5 points, the second-year man out of Providence, and I like the former Friar quite a bit. I've been talking about Devin Carter for a while. Let's not forget, 13th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, who never seemed to get any run for Sacramento. It's not like Devin Carter is one of these, 19-year-olds who's picked as a freshman. No, Devin Carter played quite a bit in college. They used the 13th overall pick on the guy. He played 2 years at Providence and 1 year at South Carolina, and the Kings are managing him like, he's 19. I don't know. Either they just don't think Devin Carter is very good, which I think Devin Carter can hoop. I don't know. Some games you just can't shoot the ball, but that will sell. Again, it's all about opportunity. I'll talk about that in a second. He's in a spot now, though, where they kind of just have to give him a shot or just cut ties at this point, legitimately. Because Devin Carter, even on a tanking Kings team, couldn't get minutes until just now, where everyone's out. So the Kings are 12-45. It is a franchise record losing streak for Sacramento, as they have now lost 15 consecutive games. Guys, I can almost guarantee you Sacramento's not going to wind up with the top 4 pick. The NBA is not sending one of their elite guys, or the elite draft guys, to Sacramento. I mean, hell, this league's talking about making, they're not going to do it, obviously, thank God, but they were talking about making all rookies free agents. They are not sending a high-name rookie to Sacramento. I can almost guarantee you that. The best the NBA, they're going to say, best we can do is Kingston Flemings. That's the best the NBA can do. Have Kingston Flemings and be happy. I just did a lottery sim on Tankathon, and yeah, Sacramento ended up with 5. I got Atlanta 1, Chicago 2, Indiana 3, Dallas 4, of course, because they're forming a super team over there. They're going to throw Caleb Wilson at Cooper Flagg, and then 5 Sacramento. Exactly, yeah. Best we can do is Kingston Flemings at 5. Because that's what the Kings are going to get stuck with. But here's the thing, right? So they're finally getting to play Devin Carter. And it's not because they want to play Devin Carter. It's not because Devin Carter's really, worked his way through the rotation and he's been playing great minutes. No, they just have nobody else. They are forced to play Devin Carter off the bench. Every day somebody drops out with the Kings due to a season-ending injury. First it was Zach LaVine, season-ending hand surgery. I'm sure he's I don't know. Maybe I'm sure Zach LaVine's probably not too excited what's going on within the family right now. But whatever. In terms of just the unneeded attention around the LaVine family, I'm not going to get into that situation. That's just, oh boy. Oh man, that's work. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm sure just look up the LaVine name on TikTok right now. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, Zach LaVine's got a lot to look over during the offseason with his family. Domantas Sabonis is out for the season as well with a season-ending knee injury. Dylan Cardwell is out. He sprained his ankle during practice. He was bringing some great energy to Sacramento in the Golden One Center. He's out for a while now. And now DeAndre Hunter is getting season-ending eye surgery. Who's next? My guess is not Russ, because Russ will do anything possible to stay on the court. My guess is DeMar DeRozan, probably. Yeah, DeMar is going to randomly come down with an injury soon. DeMar, I don't know. Vivek is going to run up. He's going to oh God, what was that ice skater's name? Nancy Kerrigan, I think her name was. Vivek's going to run behind DeMar DeRozan, hit him with the lead pipe, and make sure his, ankle snaps in half. Oh, surgery. Oh, you're out for the season. That's just what the Kings are going to start doing so they can make sure they keep losing. But I'm telling you, the league's not going to reward these guys. That was a long way of saying Devin Carter is going to score 12 points tonight. Okay? Here's the thing about Devin Carter. He hasn't played well as a King so far. Again, I was a big fan of the guy at Providence. I thought very highly of him when he was coming into the league. He hasn't really resulted in that just yet. He is averaging 12 points per game this month. The thing about Devin Carter is he's just going to get a lot of opportunity. On the Sacramento team, they're losing big in games, and Devin Carter just kind of gets thrown out there when they're already down by 25 points. And all right, go ahead. Here's the keys to the offense. Russ is out of the game by now, so go ahead. Lead the offense. You're the point guard. Well, Devin Carter against the Orlando Magic. This is why I like to play, man. Devin Carter against the Orlando Magic only scores 11 points, but he goes 3 for 12 from the field and 0 for 5 from the three-point line, yet he still scored 11 points. 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Of course, we need a better game than that, but that's my point, though. We're getting opportunity out of Devin Carter. Against Utah, 30 minutes, 4 for 13 from the field, 1 for 6 from beyond the arc, 19 points, because he takes 12 free throws and hits 10 of them. Pelicans, 30 minutes, 6 of 12 from the field, 0 for 4 from the three-point line, 12 points. Oh my goodness. Devin Carter shooting 9% from the three-point line this month. Holy crap. 0 for 6, 0 for 5, 2 for 5, 0 for 4, 1 for 6, 0 for 5. This is unbelievable. Oh, I didn't know it was this bad. Well, they're telling Devin Carter, keep on shooting it. Get your shots. Keep on going. Every single game. We don't care. Sure, that's one way to instill confidence in a guy. Just tell him to take any shot you like. 37% field goal shooter from the field. 17% three-point shooter. 80% free throw shooter. But again, the biggest part in all this is the opportunity he's getting. In blowouts, he plays a lot. He's going to play 30 minutes. He's taken no less than 12 shots in 8 straight games. He scored double digits in 8 straight games. The efficiency's horrible, but he's going to get looks. He's going to take 6 3-pointers a game. He'll likely only make 1, but that does go a long way. And say we get lucky and hits 2? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm take Devin Carter. I can't believe this is what it's come to on him. I can't imagine he's going to be in Sacramento much longer. Even the Kings are not envisioning him to be part of their future. Got to imagine Devin Carter's going to wind up he's going to wind up being the 14th guy in the the last guy on the Lakers bench and the 14th player on their team next year or something. Or he'll end up I don't know. He'll just be a very end of the bench guy in, I don't know, Miami next season. I think that's where his future lies. He's going to get traded for a second-round pick is what I'm getting at here. Devin Carter over 11.5 points. Just a player, though, I think needs a change in scenery because, who wants to play in Sacramento, California? Exactly. Next up, we move on to another player prop. We go to the Chicago Bulls. They are at home against the East-leading Detroit Pistons. Detroit is a 10.5-point favorite for this game tonight, but we do not care about that. We are not concerning ourselves on the odds for this game because we are taking Anfernee Simons. We're going to go Simons on the over points and assists. That line is 20.5. We're going to be playing it at minus 115. Why am I taking Anfernee Simons tonight? I don't expect Josh Giddey to play. I don't think they're going to play Giddey, and if they do, they're going to play Giddey very low minutes. So the Bulls are playing again tomorrow, right? And Chicago has made it very clear they're trying to tank. They traded Kobe White, and yes, I know Kobe White's injured, but Josh Giddey had a near all-star season this year. Giddey is averaging a near triple-double. He's averaging 18, 9, and 9. He's having a great year. Should have been an all-star, but it's okay. And they're kind of just, Giddey's kind of hurt, but they're basically saying, okay, bro, we don't need you to play. We don't want you to play because we're trying to lose. The Bulls don't want to get stuck into the Kobe White Invitational. Kobe White obviously has, taken his talents to Charlotte, and the entire Invitational has been taken over to Charlotte too. We said it earlier, the Bulls are actually only a game and a half out of the play-in, which is ridiculous because they are 8 games under 500, and it's a team that did start very hot this season, but look at where they're at. They traded Vucci Main, they traded Kobe White. Yeah, they're supposed to lose. They bring in Anfernee Simons in that Vucci Main trade. We know Anfernee Simons is going to be a free agent in the offseason. So Simons is just basically going out there and just showing himself to the rest of the NBA right now, trying to get himself a big contract in the offseason. And that's why I like his PA today. Because again, he's going to have the ball in his hands quite a lot. The Bulls have not ruled out Josh Giddey yet. And I don't think they're going to, but I don't know. So Josh Giddey does play against Toronto, but he plays very limited minutes against the Raptors, first game coming out of the All-Star break. And the Bulls are obviously being very cautious about their franchise player who they gave over $100 million to in the offseason. Giddey came back against the Raptors, didn't play in about 3 weeks, came back against the Raptors, played 20 minutes. Still stuffed the stat sheet, but I mean, not by that much. 5 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. Okay, it's a Josh Giddey line, I guess just very... It's a Josh Giddey line. You'd expect everything to kind of be ×2 on that stat line. Points ×3. Like, you'd expect 15, 10, and 8 out of Josh Giddey. That's a very Giddey line. Didn't have a great game against the Raptors, but obviously first game in over a month for Josh Giddey, or about a month for Josh Giddey. So, I don't know if they're going to play him here. I have a feeling no. They haven't said if Giddey's out or not. It's just look ahead to their schedule. Tomorrow, the Bulls are going to be at home against the New York Knicks. It's just a matter of when do they want to play Giddey and when do they not want to play Giddey. Regardless, even if Giddey plays, Simons should still be able to get his buckets. Last game, Anfernee Simons does barely go over this line. Again, the line is 20.5 PA. Anfernee has 20 points and 1 assist. 1 assist, not plural. 1 assist. I feel like those assists are going to go up. I mean, the other two of the other games that he's played as a Bull so far, 15.6 assists, 23.7 assists. And sure, when Giddey's in the court and when both Giddey and Simons are on the court at the same time, yeah, Giddey's taking the ball up the court. Giddey's going to play make. It will open up Simons for more scoring opportunities, but Giddey's going to be the one taking the ball up the court all the time. Giddey is still starting. It's not like the case where the Lakers did with AR when they were bringing Reeves back in. They did it for a week. No, actually more than that. They did it for about a month, it felt like. They finally started Reeves yesterday, but they would bring Reeves off the bench, and he'd still obviously play the clutch minutes, but they're still trying to work his way back into the rotation and into the starting lineup. The Bulls have thrown Giddey right back out there, and he is starting. So, Giddey, if he does play today, expect the points to be up for Simons. Assists-wise, probably not going to be all that great because, again, nobody's going to get assists when Josh Giddey's in the court. It's just that's what he does, right? Giddey's going to play make for everybody. Hell, look at every other player on the Bulls except for Giddey and then Trey Jones, who leads the second unit. Giddey's got 5 assists. Jones has 6 off the bench. And then, Jalen Smith's got 2, Okoro 1, Buzelis 1, Anfernee Simons 1. I'm fine with that, though. Because if Giddey doesn't play, okay, we're going to see the assists go up for Simons, and we're going to see the scoring, again, kind of remain the same. But if Giddey is playing, okay, there's so many more looks for Anfernee Simons, and the Bulls are completely okay, and Simons is content with taking a million shots. So against the Raptors on Thursday, Anfernee Simons, again, 31 minutes, 20 points, 7 for 18 from the field, 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. He hits both free throws he takes in the game. He goes 2 for 2. Again, they are more than okay letting Simons just run the offense and take as many shots as possible. I'm sure it's a mutual thing. The Bulls aren't trying to win. Anfernee Simons is trying to get a contract for next season. They're like, all right, go ahead, just do your thing. We don't care. We're not trying to win basketball games. Just make sure you don't score that many points. I think he goes over tonight. Yeah, they're taking on Detroit. It should be an easy victory for the Pistons, who continue to just win basketball games. They didn't win that game against the Wizards a couple weeks ago, but it's okay. This is a team that's 100% going to be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They have the best record currently in basketball, I believe. 41-13. I'm still saying I don't think they're going to win the Eastern Conference, but maybe they do. I don't know. I think Boston's going to get them. Regardless, I'm going to go Anfernee Simons tonight. Again, he's a former Boston Celtic who was involved in the Vucci Main trade. He's only 26. It feels like Simons has been around for a little bit longer than that. Well, hell, he's been around since 2018 in the league. But he is having a pretty good season. Came off the bench in every single game that he played with Boston, all 49. He's played 5 games now with the Bulls. He's started in every single one of them. That's what Anfernee Simons is, though. He is a starting player in this league. He had to, assume a bench role, obviously, with Boston with the Drew Holiday trade. And obviously, it didn't fit what Portland's timeline was, I guess, with Scoot, obviously, and all those, young players they have, and Denny. I like Simons in the spot. I do. I think Simons should probably get in the 20 scoring-wise, and that means we just need 1 assist. We should be okay here. Give me Anfernee Simons over 20.5 PA at home against the Pistons. On to our final best bet of the video. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to take the New York Knicks. Oh, Yeah, give me the Pistons. Give me the Knicks. I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't think I can. I never get anything right on the Knicks. I'm cursed because we were so adamant on the Pacers last year against the Knicks, and don't get me wrong, we were right. Everything I said about the Knicks last year against the Pacers in the postseason was completely right, and I have a feeling we're gonna be right again this year. I don't know. Boston in 6. I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna take the Knicks tonight. I'm going to take the Knicks tonight coming off of a loss at home against the Detroit Pistons, and that's my point. The Knicks are not going to be good against the elite teams in the East in the postseason. In a 7-game series, they can't beat Detroit, they can't beat Boston, they'll beat Cleveland, in my opinion. And I don't know if they beat Philly. With a healthy Joel Embiid, I don't know if they beat Philly in a 7-game series. If I'm the Knicks, the last thing I want is matching up with Philly in the first round in a 3-6. Oh yeah, get them out of there. I would take Philly to win that series. Anyways, Knicks Houston tonight. I'm going to go with the Knicks. Games in the Garden. Saturday night game. Only primetime game on, or only nationally televised game on today in the association on ABC. Obviously, we had talked in length about the KD files going into the Hornets game. A very up and down game for the Rockets, right? It was just a game of runs. I know you can say that about almost every basketball game, but especially that one. Game of runs throughout. Houston eventually takes it by 4 points, 105-101. Kevin Durant scores 35 points in the first game since the KD files got leaked. I don't care. I'm taking the Knicks in this spot, which again, it doesn't pain me to say because I don't really despise the Knicks that much. I just think they're overrated and they just never have done me anything right. So it doesn't pain me to do it. I have no confidence in this team ever. But I do think tonight is a good spot for them. They are at home. Houston, staying on this road trip. The Rockets will return home on Monday to take on the Utah Jazz, which is on national television. That's on NBC. Houston versus Utah. NBC should sell the rights to that game. Oh, there's only 3 games on Monday. That's why. Okay. Maybe they should take Sacramento, Memphis instead. I'm joking. Anyways, I think it's a good spot for New York. Jalen Brunson is a good player. I'll tell you that. Jalen Brunson can hoop, right? The Knicks are coming off of winning the Shooting Stars Challenge, and the Shooting Stars Challenge is just not as good as it used to be. They brought it back and they just ruined it. They should have gone back to the format of All-Star, Legend, and WNBA player, especially because the NBA is really hyping up the WNBA now. The WNBA, I will say, most popularity it's had in a while, even ever. Why did they get rid of that format? So instead, we got to watch the New York Knicks win the Shooting Stars. It's okay over Corey Maggette, who probably could right now give you 15 points a night on the Utah Jazz. But Jalen Brunson, 33 points against the Detroit Pistons in 38 minutes. We know what New York does. It's rinse and repeat. They play their starters heavy minutes every single game. Deuce McBride's hurt right now, so Landry Shaman and Jose Alvarado are getting their minutes off the bench. And yeah, honestly, the rotation it's slightly bigger now. It's an 8-man rotation currently in New York. They did bring in Jeremy Sochan, obviously, from the Spurs. The Spurs released Sochan at 22 years of age, former top 10 pick, by the way, but the Spurs got rid of him. I don't know how much the Knicks are going to continue to play him, truth be told, but we know the 8 they're going to be rolling with for the most part. That's Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, and obviously both Shaman and Alvarado as they got Grand Theft Alvarado from New Orleans. As for the Rockets, I still have that problem with them with Amen Thompson, and I'm telling you in the postseason it's going to go into full effect. Teams are starting to do it. Like we saw Charlotte do it. Just leave Amen Thompson wide open. He's not going to shoot the 3-point ball. And if he does, odds on he's not going to make it. The Hornets give Amen Thompson 3 threes. He misses all 3 of them. He is a 19% 3-point shooter this season, which happens to be still better than Devin Carter, who's supposed to be a halfway decent 3-point shooter. He's supposed to give you 3 3-pointers per night, but it's okay. Again, I'm not denying the talent of Amen Thompson. Amen Thompson's a great player. I just don't know how that's going to work in the postseason when teams are going to have no respect for you from beyond the arc. Obviously, again, the Rockets are a good team. Are they a great team? I don't know. I'm still deciding. We still saw their games prior to the break. They lost to Boston, lost to Charlotte, lost that game right before the break against the Los Angeles Clippers. Not moved. If Durant has great nights, yes, they can beat anybody, but I just don't think as a team they are honestly elite. I don't think they are. Call me crazy. I still believe that the Rockets are probably the 5th best team in the West. I think. Well, I don't know. OKC, San Antonio, Denver, it's just a matter of, I think the Lakers would beat them in a playoff series. Still, I would. Obviously, I would not take the Lakers to anything else post that. But obviously, again, the NBA playoffs are just all about matchups. Durant is still a superstar in this league, coming off a 35-point game in Charlotte on Thursday night, again, trying to show what he can still do post KD files. But I still don't like the Rockets going forward. I'm going to take New York tonight, which pains me to do sometimes because I don't trust this team. I think the Knicks and their three-point shooting ability from Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Cat, bringing Shaman off the bench, I do believe they should be able to outpace the Rockets here. It's a Madison Square Garden Saturday night game, probably cheapest ticket, $300 is my guess. 287, about close. Yeah, I'm going to take the Knicks at home to win and cover the 3.5 against the Rockets in the Garden on ABC. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on February 21st. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure you like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba